After taking Bonnie Christine's Immersion course, I definitely have some final thoughts that I think you should consider if you are wanting to take Immersion too. Hit that like button if you are just trying to see if Immersion is worth it. Before I took Bonnie Christine's course, I was making artwork all the time. I was actually a wood burning artist, which you're probably wondering, what in the world is that? You can go look it up later. All I knew is that I loved creating art. But I also realized that my hands could only work so fast and my time was limited when I had a family to take care of. Hi, I'm Amanda Storrs and I took Bonnie Christine's Immersion course a few years ago, and I'm here to tell you my final thoughts of whether or not it was worth it in the first place and how that was a foundation for where I am in my business today. I needed a different way of creating art and creating it well from the beginning so that it could be replicated over and over again. I remember it was Christmas that year and my husband asked me, what do you want for Christmas? And instead of saying some gift under the tree, I said, I want Bonnie Christine's Immersion course. Not gonna lie, my husband thought that it was a crazy amount of an investment for a course that I may or may not use in the future. But I decided to take the leap and I took Bonnie Christine's Immersion course. I realized it was not your typical course. Like, it was something that you really had to put time into in order to have the right result from it. It's not one of those courses that you just put on a shelf and you never use again, because you learn so much from it, and because Bonnie Christine is walking alongside you within the Immersion course the entire time, there is a huge chance that you would benefit and learn from her knowledge if you were to hop on the call and actually treat it as if it were a college level course. Just to let you know, I had absolutely no Adobe Illustrator knowledge before taking the course, and I knew that I was going to be learning a lot. I just didn't know how much I would learn. What was funny is I was a part of her membership, Flourish, before I took Immersion because it was open at a different point in the year. So I had gone an entire year of being in Flourish and basically learning how to create patterns, and I made several of them. The funny part is that there was a definite before and after Immersion moment for me. You can go back and look at the same patterns that I created before her course and see how much they were improved by the time I finished her course. It was absolutely amazing of a before and after. I ended up creating an entire collection. And though I never sent it to the licensing partners, I will tell you what I did with them. I made my artwork come to life by putting it on fabric and then having someone create a dress for my daughter. So now my daughter has this family heirloom that she can pass down to her daughter because I created every pattern on that dress. And if I ever wanted to submit it in the future, I could. But I just chose not to because I was led in a different direction in my business. You'll see that with all the other videos in this YouTube channel. One thing I didn't realize that her course would teach me was because she was teaching me all the different ways to use Adobe Illustrator, I did not realize that she was also teaching me how to create a brand logo for myself. So now her course wasn't just about creating patterns and putting those patterns on fabric or wallpaper or anything else in my future. It also became about making a brand for myself, because now she's given me the keys to the kingdom as far as learning a program I didn't know and creating a brand that I didn't have. From her course, I would go ahead and skip the line and trying to hire a designer to create my brand and create my logo and put all those things on my website. I learned how to do it on my own. So I ended up saving so much more than I would have if I would have hired someone to do it for me. I remember that moment when I was making a summit and I invited a branding centered guy. I mean, someone who was involved in some major branding products that you would actually know. But I had reached out to him to become a summit speaker in my Accelerate Your List Summit. And one of the first things he said was, I went to your website. I absolutely love your logo. I I think he would have flipped out if he knew that the course that I took in order to learn patterns was actually used to create my brand. So it's not that you're just creating patterns to put into the world, but she's giving you the foundation of this platform so that you can jumpstart your understanding of Adobe Illustrator and branch that into your business in multiple aspects without even focusing on patterns if you don't want to. So let's talk about the cost, which is definitely the elephant in the room. I have to tell you that the cost was definitely something that made me take a step back and consider if it was worth it. So I started researching if I could basically hire someone to do my brand. And I started researching it, and if you were going to hire someone to create a logo, use Adobe Illustrator, do what you want it to do, you're looking at over the amount of cost of what Bonnie Christine's course is. Not only that, but I was able to take something that I was making on paper, making on wood in my case, something that was just, I would have to make one at a time for commissioned art pieces. And I was able to replicate it so it could be used over and over again in my future. It was a practical skill that many courses will not give you. So if you are looking for an investment and you are an artist, or maybe you are learning design, maybe you're just really trying to contemplate if it's worth it, it's up to you. This course is very narrowed down to patterns, yes. It also teaches you all the tools that you need in order to understand Adobe Illustrator as a whole. What I loved about Bonnie Christine is that she walked alongside you. So any point as you're taking the course, you have a question about one button that you just didn't know what it did, or you had a question about licensing, or you had a question about anything, she was an open book for anyone taking this course. So I would tell you, if you are not intending on using Adobe Illustrator for any reason in your business, then I would not take this course. If you already have a background in being an artist and you want to use your time well, you want something that you can create really well the first time and then replicate it over and over again so that you can get time back with your family, then maybe this course would be for you. If you're thinking about taking the Immersion course, I would love for you to use my link below. And by using that link and signing up through that link for the Immersion course, I will send you my Surface Pattern Design email welcome sequence so that you can get started with an automation in your email service provider that will send emails to your audience as they come to your list and be guided towards your offers. So if I could encourage you in any way, it would be to say this: be a good steward of what you've been given. So really pray about where to invest your time and where to invest your money for your business so that it can be a blessing to you later. Have the discernment needed to know if this is a worthwhile investment for your business. Feel free to comment below with any questions you have, and I will do my best to answer them.